All right, in our last video, we talked about dilatations on a rectangle. And some key points that you learned was what is a dilatation, what is a scale factor, and what is a dilatation center. So we're going to make things a little bit more complicated now. We're going to explain what the process is. And then I'm going to show you a cool trick on Geogebra and our geometry app that you could use to sort of trick the system and figure out the math much quicker. So we're going to start off with drawing a relatively simple shape, but something that would be hard to calculate yourself. No, that's not what I want. Sorry about that. Let's undo that. And of course, we're going to click on polygon. And let's draw our top of the shape there. We're going to bring it down. Let's bring it over and bring it up. So if we did have a dilatation point or dilatation center, we would place it somewhere around here. It doesn't really matter where it goes, but then you're going to draw your line segments going above. We're going to do this relatively quickly because this is not the major part of the video I'm going to show you. Perfect. And then if I wanted to scale up or scale down, I would duplicate the object. Not like that. So remember to select the object. Then I would duplicate the object. And I could change the color if I like. And then I would have to do, especially on more complex ones like this, I'd have to start to look at, okay, so point E to point B is how long? And then I'd have to start to do the multiplication in order to make it bigger. So if I wanted to multiplicate this length to this length, it would have to be the same ratio or the same amount of multiplication from E to A, from E to D, from E to C, and then I'll start to look at my object expanding or shrinking. But I'm going to show you a trick. We're actually going to delete all this, and we're going to come along and we're going to make an object to our polygon that is very complicated and would be very annoying to try to do manually like that. So we're going to draw something a little bit random, which would be very annoying to do manually. Okay, so that's our polygon. If you have not opened up the extra tools yet in Geogebra, you might have something that looks like this. Don't forget to click on more. And then we're going to scroll down quite a bit. And then we're going to find the thing that says dilate from point. And this is going to be your trick. This is going to be the thing that saves you a lot of work. As long as you understand what the math is doing, you're golden. So it even gives us sort of an instructions down here. It just select the object, then a point center, and then tell me how much of our scale factor is going to affect this object. So we're going to choose our object first. So we just click on it. Done. And now I'm going to choose where I want the point to be. So the dilation center or dilation point. So we're going to put one there. And now it automatically goes into, okay, so how much do you want to expand this by or how much do you want to shrink this by? We're going to first start off with the more complex one sometimes, and we're going to shrink it. So instead of putting it at a 1 factor, we're going to actually do less than 1. So 0.2. Now we got a tiny little object there. So that's effectively what we just did in our last video and the beginning of this video, where we had a whole bunch of rays or lines, and then we calculated, okay, what is the difference from D to B, and we actually multiplied by a point value. I don't want to do that though. I'm lazy. If I understand the math, I want to use the tools. All right, so we just did dilate point, and we did 0.2, so we got a lot smaller. I'm actually going to purposely zoom out on this one because we're going to make it much, much bigger now. We're going to click on dilate from point once again. I'm going to click on the object. I'm going to tell you where my dilate point's going to be. That's very messy right now, so I'm just going to move it a little bit down. Okay, and my dilate from point factor. So let's make it big. Let's do 5 times more. There you go. I'm glad I zoomed out a little bit there. And all of a sudden, we had our tiny little one here. You can't even see it at 0.2 factor. We had our original, so our 1-to-1. And then up here, we have our much bigger factor. And we didn't have to do any of the math. We didn't have to draw the lines. We didn't have to measure things. We didn't have to calculate things. The Geogebra did it all for us. So if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.